Oh my god, what a long day. Okay, so I'm sorry for making this video so late, but let's go through the new Esper here. I kind of have an idea of whether is he going to be really good or not, depending on your playstyle and all that. But I think in general, okay, just in general, I feel like he's probably not an Esper that you really need, because we all assume that he's going to be really good for APEP, which he might be good, I guess, for APEP because of his first skill with the Diseased and his third skill with... Oh my god, I can't really remember his kit. Let's just go through his kit once again. So his first skill lands Diseased with an 80% chance at max level, which is... it's not very good, right? So it's not 100%. And because this is not 100%, I don't think he's going to be that relevant for landing Diseased. I think Joser is going to be a much better Esper instead, because you're most probably going to be using Joser anyway, and Joser is also going to bring the Disease effect. So his damage scales according to his defense, by the way, which is pretty cool because he also has a captain ability that increases his defense, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now, oh my god, that's my cat. Alright, I truly apologize about it. He came into shit and then he left. Now, true damage is 5% of the max HP of non-boss enemy with the highest max HP, up to 100% of his defense. This is a very interesting kit, isn't it, right? It's like if you are using this skill against an enemy who has low HP, then this skill might still do a lot of damage if you are keeping one of the other enemies with a lot of HP left. Might be decent, I think. Now here's his next skill, Definitive Form. Attacks all enemies, damage is blah blah blah, with that also scales according to defense, which is pretty cool. Now 50% chance of inflicting stun for one turn, and if an enemy is not stunned afterwards, you then dispel one buff and has a 100% chance of inflicting AP minus 20%. This is not a lot, but it is still an AoE AP reduction. Now each speed grants extra damage, which is 0.2% of defense, which is pretty good. So I think if he has 200 speed, this is going to be 40% of defense, which I think is not bad in terms of scaling. I think it's pretty decent. And he also has a very, very short cooldown of just 3 turns. Now onwards with his third skill, this is Cosmos Writing, selects one ally and raises their HP percentage to a level of the non-boss enemy with the highest HP percentage. And it only takes effect if the enemy's HP percentage is above the allies, because if your ally is higher HP, your ally is not going to go lower in HP, right? But this is not regarded as healing, so in terms of like being affected by heal blocks, this is definitely going to bypass it. And then afterwards balances the AP of the same ally to the level of the non-boss enemy. This is the Ascension effect, with the highest AP as well. Only takes effect if the enemy's AP is above the allies, not regarded as AP boost. So I like this a lot. You're not just copying the HP of one enemy, you are also copying the AP of another enemy that has the highest AP. So it's not both from the same enemy, which is, I think this is not bad. Then you attack all enemies afterwards, and the damage is 50% of his defense, and it scales with the enemy's max HP up to plus 400%. I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. Does that mean that if the enemy has 100% HP, then this goes up to 400% extra defense scaling damage? That sounds pretty crazy because this is an AoE attack. This might require a little bit of testing. But here's my point. So I feel like he needs to be R2, and the reason why he needs to be R2 is not only are you copying the enemy's HP, but now, or rather copying the enemy's HP and the AP, you are also swapping it instead. So that means that if your HP is low, or one of your allies' HP is really low, and you swap with an enemy with a lot of HP, the enemy has low HP right now, and this skill is then going to nuke that enemy and potentially take him out as well. So I feel like it is quite important for him to be R2 so that he becomes more offensive. So at R0, he's more defensive, right? He's more of a pure support. But at R2, he has the potential to become a pretty big DPS as well. So on top of just being a support Esper, he has the potential to probably be quite painful as well. And of course, his captain ability, which increases all defense by 30% as a universal captain ability buff. I think this is really good. So I think him running with Hades is actually pretty decent. I feel like he's possibly a really good bruiser. I didn't expect his kit to be so bruiserish, but well, I guess that's it. And here you go, here are his max stats. He has not a lot of defense. That is a little bit unfortunate. He has like 1100, which is okay. It is in the okay range, but it's not a lot. But now let's take a look at his ascensions so that we have a better idea of whether is he going to be something that you want to invest in or not. Alright, so here we go. So he starts off with max HP, which is okay, and then he has flat defense, and he has 10% HP, which I'm not too fond of this. I feel like if this was defense percentage or crit damage or something like that, would be a lot better. He has speed here, and he has defense plus 20%. So his ascensions itself is not tailored so much towards DPS. Yes, he has 20% defense here. He has decent speed, which is okay, but I feel like if this was crit rate or if this was crit damage, then he would be a little bit better. I feel like he's more tailored towards a bruiser offensive style than just a pure support. But obviously that only comes at R2. So he's one of those Espers that I feel like you really need him to be at R2. It's kind of same as like Yunchuan. It's not so much the same as Intisa, but let's take a look at his resonance right now. So we start off with final damage on his third skill, which is, yep, forgettable as always. And here is his R2, which makes or breaks his character, in my opinion, right? So balances the HP percentage and AP, change to swapping HP percentage and AP with the enemy, and it doesn't take effect on bosses, which means that I think you're just going to match the HP and the AP of maybe the boss, but you're not actually going to deplete the boss HP this way. So this changes a lot in his kit, like I said. And then afterwards, we have extra stats, and his R4, when the target's defense is below his own, his damage increases by 15%, which is something that I really like, especially for a defensive bruiser. Now next, we have another 20% more stats, and at R6, so his third skill, right, before swapping AP, if the AP of the non-boss enemy with the highest AP is above that of your allies, other than the selected ally, you then balance all of these allies with lower AP up to the same level of the AP of the non-boss enemy. And then afterwards, obviously, you do the swap with the main ally that you selected afterwards. But my final verdict about him, well, at least, I mean, we have yet to explore a little bit more about his kit and all that, but my first initial impressions about him is he's not going to be so good for APAP. He's not going to be an Esper that, oh, magically helps your APAP become like 10 times easier or something like that. That's not going to be the case. But the thing is, if you want to use him, it's probably going to be in RTA, which means that you might want to push for R2, because then he becomes a little bit more offensive as well, and his third skill is not just going to be pure support. Okay, anyway, let's just take a look at how he works in the VR Battleground. So I have some relics on him, okay? It's not decent relics, not even good relics at all. It's just like, these are just relics. But let's just see how he works in the VR Battleground so that we have an idea of how his skills look like and how they perform and how they function. Oh my god, I should have brought another Esper. Alright, so I brought along my Unas here just to get the first turn so that we can try our second skill. I want to test out the second skill first. So what it does again is it deals damage and has a 50% chance of landing a stun for one turn. This is at max level, by the way, so 50% chance is not a lot, but if the enemy is not stunned by this effect, you will then decrease their AP by 20%, which I guess is okay. But in terms of DPS, I think this should be one of the better damaging skills. I mean, I don't really have a lot of speed, and my defense is probably not really good as well. But what I want to see is, I want to test out his third skill right now. So I want to maybe let my Unas lower his HP a little bit. Yep. Come on, hit my Unas, man. Come on. Come on, hit my Unas. Okay, unfortunately, this is how it's gonna be. So I'm just gonna use my third skill, right? And I'm probably gonna select myself, because I think if I wait another turn, I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna select myself and raise my HP percentage to the level of the non-boss enemy with the highest HP percentage, which is probably like this Esper here, right? And at the same time, so this Esper, which is this guy over here, right? She has 32% AP, which means that after using this skill on myself, I should have 32% AP, but obviously AP movement is going to take place, which means we are not going to see like 32%, okay? But let's just see how this works. Oh, nice animation. Move my mouse away. HP mirrored. Wait, did my AP increase? I wonder. I did not see AP mirrored, right? It was only HP mirrored, so I'm a little bit confused, but there you go. My HP is up to max, but the thing is, if I'm at R2, that Esper is going to have HP reduced to like 20% or something like that, which is quite useful in RTA, I think. But anyway, I guess we can stop the video for here. This is just like a first look at how their skills work, or rather how his skills work, and what we can expect as well, which I am probably not super excited. I will do some tests over on this account. I probably would not invest too much into this Esper in my own main account. I'll probably still summon for this Esper just to have it so that I can use it in the future if I ever so need to. But like I said, the R2 is going to be so freaking important, and I'm so sorry for like repeating myself all the time. But let's take a look at the third skill once again before we call this video finished, right? So there we go. Okay, so we actually mirrored the AP as well. Very nice. Oh, wait a minute. I get it. So the thing is, my AP wasn't increased because my AP was already at 100%. So that is a big deal. It's a big deal. So the thing is, you can use this on yourself, but because by using it, your AP is already at 100% when you used it, you're not actually going to mirror the enemy's AP. So this is an important takeaway as well. So the third skill is actually more useful on your allies rather than yourself per se, right? But anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Derek Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video. And in the next video, I'm also going to talk a little bit more about the other changes as well as the Sonic Rift, for example, right? How is the EXP system right now? Let's find out in the next video.